What's going on, everyone? So this is my review for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. This is based on a true story of Fred Rodgers and Tom Junod's friendship that blossoms over time. And it is also the film that is the sophomore debut of director Mariella Heller. She directed last year's Can You Ever Forgive Me, which was, in my opinion, very underrated movie. For some reason, it didn't get as much Oscar attention as I personally think it should have, but really good director. So I was very curious about this movie. And also, Tom Hanks playing Fred Rodgers. Honestly, based on just look alone, I was like, he looks just like Fred Rodgers. But the question is, does he kill it? And is this movie good? Well, let's talk about it. So, first and foremost, positives. I want to say this right off the bat. I think the cast is really good. First and foremost, you guessed it, Tom Hanks leads the charge. He is incredible. Really, really incredible as Fred Rodgers. Like, his mannerisms, the look, everything that you saw in last year's "Won't You Be My Neighbor." Like, if you've seen that documentary and you know like the mannerisms of Fred Rodgers, you'll know that Tom Hanks pretty much perfected the look as well as the mannerisms of Fred Rodgers. It's honestly incredible. Again, the rest of the cast is fine, but it's literally Tom Hanks. Whenever he's on screen, you are captivated that they got one of the nicest actors to play one of the nicest people. Perfect casting. I also think that the movie's messages about acceptance is really, really relevant more than ever today. And I think it's a very good message. And I think that this movie being PG is good because it will be very acceptable for kids to be able to watch this movie because of being PG. They can watch it and they'll be able to see a movie that is all about someone that was all about acceptance and saying, yes, this is the way to do things. Acceptance is very important. And I like that. I mean, I think that that's a message that, yes, it's simplistic, but at the same time, it's a movie that is universal. I mean, in terms of like those themes. And I like that in those regards. I also think that the movie was well shot for the most part. I wasn't blown away by it, but I did really like how it utilized a lot of like film stock from the real life Fred Rodgers as well as like the sets and everything. That was really cool. But besides that, I'm not gonna lie, everything else is just kind of to me. Like this isn't a bad movie by any means, and that's why I don't want you guys thinking that. It's just a movie that I think was fine. It's a movie that I watched and I could see the mechanics that were going through into the movie. And it was a shame because, again, I'm going to compare and contrast right here. And I know I shouldn't, but whatever. Can You Ever Forgive Me was based on a true story as well. But I just completely forgot that it was because of how well told it was and how well crafted it was. But with this movie, it felt a bit more, I feel like studio friendly. Like I kind of felt like the studio might have tampered with it a little bit because it just seemed too cookie cutter to be like a follow up from Mariella Heller. I don't know. That's just me personally. It's like, yes, you're dealing with someone's life that's like really incredible as well as his friend. And I just kind of feel like the movie in that front, in terms of storytelling and character development, it just kind of felt like been there, done that almost. It's going to sound strange because it's like, well, wait a minute, Chad. Like, this is a story of Fred Rogers and his friendship with Tom Junod. It's like, yes, I know, but I've seen these cliches before, and it doesn't really do anything new with them, in my opinion. And that's not necessarily a negative, but it's also not a positive. It's like there's a lot of like in the middle things about this movie. Same with like the ending. I feel like this movie was very low stakes, and it wasn't in an art house way where it's just like trying to portray something. It just kind of felt like the movie was stuck between a rock and a hard place. It was stuck between trying to be like a studio friendly kid movie as well as an artist trying to express herself. At least that's how I interpreted it. Now, again, I want to hesitate this, and I mean emphasize this, not hesitate this. This is a movie that kids are gonna love. You know, adults are also gonna love. Like it's a movie that I know I'm in the minority of because I know a lot of people that are gonna see this and love this movie. The friend I took to see the movie with, he loves it too. I know I'm in the minority, but I just can't help but like notice certain mechanisms that are done in the movies that sometimes just don't work for me. It's when a movie is able to get past those mechanisms and where I don't notice them, that's when I'm able to say, yes, that's awesome. But alas, this movie, I just kind of felt like it had a lot of biopic cliches that weren't able to kind of, brush aside because they were so obvious. But at the end of the day, it's a movie that, again, the themes are very important. Some of the technical aspects are really cool. Tom Hanks nails it. And it's a movie that I will give a light recommendation to, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I personally will be giving a 3.25 to 5 star rating, which, if there's like a hot sauce rating, gets the good old Frank's Red hot sauce. Again, it's a fine movie. It's a fine movie. But But I know I'm probably going to get bombarded with, why didn't you give this movie a 5 out of 5 star rating? It's like, what can I say? These are just my thoughts on the movie as I watched it. And afterwards, I still thought about those thoughts. So, what can I say? But guys, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It's probably going to be 100%. Everyone loved it. That's cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And did you prefer A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood or Won't You Be My Neighbor? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.